Dumbledore!
Hello, and welcome to the FOVcast. I'm Vito,
I'm Osho.
I'm Freddie.
and here we have the 4th episode of our podcast.
We made it this far.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's not actually that far, so we shouldn't be celebrating quite yet.
It's good, last time we tried this, we went to one episode.
One episode.
It's, slightly
Never got
better than
released.
that.
Which we never even released to the public.
So,
But we
fourth
don't talk about
episode.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's excited?
Me.
Freddie's excited because he gets to bring the topic to the table.
Yep, topic to the table.
So what are we talking about this time?
Okay, dudes. So my topic this week is going to be, well, it doesn't really get summed up just like that. That's what the whole podcast is.
Okay.
But, okay, so I did ask you this question before, but who do you think in the Harry Potter series is the most important character?
Yeah, well,
I'd
I said
just
straight
like
away.
To say,
What?
I'd just like to say that when he asked us this question, I thought about it for 3 seconds,
And
and I said Dumbledore.
and he got it right, which is pretty boring. But I thought Harry Potter, of course, because the book's called. Oops, I bumped the mic. And the book's called Harry Potter, and it's about him and stuff. So that was a pretty reasonable assumption.
Yeah, it was a good assumption. But yeah, Vito was half correct, I think. Dumbledore.
Okay,
He got a half right.
half right.
The other half is Ron. Right?
So Dumble or
Yeah,
just
no.
Door?
Okay,
It's just
so
door.
so this
It's just
subject
about a
of this
door.
week's
Door is the
this subject of this week's podcast is that Dumbledore and Ron are the same person.
Okay.
What?
That they are legit. They are exactly the same person. And there's lots of evidence to support
I'm
this.
really Here's my draw. Fuck it. Here's my jaw. Drop it.
Here's my okay.
What's
Cool
going-
story.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know how that's gonna work out. So.
Okay, how that's going to work out. So, all of you have read the books, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But not everyone that's listening has read the books.
Okay, so in the first book, we shown the characters. We have Harry, Ron, Hermione, the three Musketeers chilling
Yeah.
out. The end of the book, they go through lots of challenges. One of this is a chess game. Yeah, everyone know about the chess game?
Yep.
Do you know what piece Ron played in that chess game?
The knight. Yeah.
The knight. Okay, and who controlled all the pieces in that chess game? Who told everyone to
Harry.
go?
Harry, wasn't it?
Ron.
No, Ron was. Yeah, because
Oh,
he was
it was
like,
Ron.
it was
Yeah.
like that to that and stuff.
Yeah,
And he was
so-
like,
Knight to D4.
yeah, because he
Yes,
was like
and
the man
who
at
in that
chess.
episode? Who in that game of chess sacrificed himself?
Ron.
Ron.
Ron. Okay, so people believe, and as do I, that this game of chess is a metaphor for the entire
I think I
series
see where this is
Ah,
going.
yeah.
of Harry Potter.
I understand.
Okay, so who calls the shots in the entire Harry Potter?
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore does. Okay,
He tells what Harry.
he tells
Potter
Harry.
to
He
do.
tells everyone what to do. Right?
Yeah.
Who sacrifices himself in Harry Potter?
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. Yeah. Who
It's
gets?
Snape.
Well, it's Snape, but
Oh, yeah,
Snape
yeah,
is wrong.
no, you're wrong. Dumbledore's wrong.
No.
Okay.
What?
No, you're wrong. Snape's wrong.
Well, give me some evidence.
Well, no,
What?
I don't actually know. I was only saying that.
I didn't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, no. Dumbledore's wrong. Everyone knows that. Okay? Okay, so the reason...
Oh,
so
Ron.
Yeah,
not
I
Ron.
can't tell if you're saying wrong or wrong.
Okay, so Dumbledore is Ron. How does this work? I'm assuming.
Just say Ronald.
Shut up. Dumbledore is Ronald.
or Weasley. Weasley.
Ronald Weasley.
Okay.
Dumbledore.
Woo!
So I'm assuming this is going to involve time travel.
Yeah, it does involve time travel. Okay, but the thing is, this is set up throughout the first... around the first 4 books. But people think that J.K. Rowling had this brilliant idea, but then for one reason or another, she gave up on it, okay? So we're at the first book. This is metaphor with pieces of chess, right? They think this is a metaphor for the entire series. This is pretty complicated, and there's lots of things that happen in this game that you could relate to things in the series, if you understand.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm not going to really...
For example?
I'm not really...
Do you have any
I
examples?
actually don't know.
Okay.
But there is lots of things. The main one is the sacrificing, and
Yeah.
So then there's the appearance, right? This is sort of the one that blew my mind. This is the one that sort of convinced me that this was true. And cast your mind forward now to the Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay.
Right.
They've gone into the Weeping Willow,
Yeah.
and they're dragging things like Peter Pettigrew and Sirius Black up through the passageway.
Yeah. Yeah.
As they go into the Weeping Willow, Ron gets attacked,
He does.
right?
Serious.
And he breaks his leg.
Yeah, he dragged.
Yeah. So he gets a serious scar,
Serious scar.
serious scar to his
serious scarring.
Who was wrong in this
so to
situation?
his to his left leg, right?
So Ron is Sirius and Harry now. I mean, not Harry, Dumbledore, and Harry and Hermione.
No, okay. So
Okay. It's-
Ron gets a serious down.
And Dumbledore
Yeah,
has got his...
Dumbledore has got a scar on his left knee. Right? Ron got attacked on the left knee. Right?
Didn't they explain that though? They said that was from. Oh wait, no, he got a hand munted from when he tried to
That's
destroy.
something else.
It's different, completely different. On
Yeah.
his left leg. Right?
You don't
Same
have a
place.
knee in your
Same place.
hand.
They both have the same
When
scar.
is that mentioned?
That is his Dumbledore scar is mentioned in like the first book. About how scars can be useful when he's explaining Harry's scar. He says,
says
I have
that-
a useful scar. It
Looks like
perfectly
the
looks like the London Underground.
Okay, I'm sold already.
Yeah, okay. So they both had the scar in the same place, which was pretty crazy, right? Yeah, that was a pretty crazy thing. Also, they talk about in the Chamber of Secrets when they talk about Dumbledore, who used to be teaching at the school, right? They talk about his appearance. He had auburn hair, right? Which is red.
Red.
He had red hair. Dumbledore, right? Ron, whenever Harry in the books first meets a character, there's always a description about them, right? Ron is always described to be tall, right, as Dumbledore is. Ron
Yeah.
is always described to have big hands, and Dumbledore is always described to have very long fingers, right?
Yeah.
When you do the comparison between their descriptions, actually pretty much every single feature of them, right, lines up. Okay, so there's the appearance. And then there's like even deeper things. Like when Dumbledore looks in the mirror of I can't remember the name.
Oh, yes.
The mirror that shows you what you
yeah,
want
I
to
can't
be,
remember what it's
right?
called.
Or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something.
He sees himself holding socks.
Yeah.
Sees himself getting socks, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
he says he
A
sees
nice
himself
pair
getting
of
socks.
woolen socks.
Yes, which is a bit of a strange thing to say.
Like Ron saw like
himself
as the man.
yeah,
like
as being
head boy
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah. So what does Ron always get for Christmas from his mother?
Yes, socks or like a shirt
Ron
or something.
Yeah, he gets socks or jumper, right?
Yeah.
Socks or jumpers. A nice pair of woolen socks.
So you're
Ron
saying-
always gets socks. And what does
Yeah.
he always do? He never appreciates it, right?
So
In every
of course,
yeah.
in Dumbledore's timeline, if it was, then his mother would be dead, and therefore he'd
Yes.
appreciate.
Yeah,
that now.
exactly.
Ah,
He's
that's
thinking
good.
he's thinking back to his childhood, and he's thinking,
Yeah.
wait, I actually, I do appreciate this now. He always so he thinks of himself as socks. Ron always gets socks from his mother, right? This is always a gift, and socks throughout the series, right,
Oh.
is like a pretty used metaphor. Like,
Reoccurring.
yeah, Tonks talks about how her mother has a special way of folding socks, right?
And was there someone put something in there? Ah, Dobby. with
Dobby
the
gets
sock.
freed
Yeah.
with socks, right?
Yeah.
Socks, even though you don't really think about it when you're going through.
Oh
but
my
socks is
God.
like the most referenced piece of
It's a
clothing,
motif.
right? And
icon,
yeah,
whatever.
people think about this, and someone has sort of come up with this theory, and it's crazy. It's insane.
Wait, so where does this theory climax? Like, where do we?
Is it the socks?
Okay.
Is that the conclusion?
And then there's another another bit of evidence is the fact that Dumbledore seems to know lots of stuff, right? And he also sends people, including Ron, into extremely dangerous situations,
Yeah.
right? Where they could easily die, but they blunder their way through. Yeah. So when I read the books, you always think like everyone makes out Harry is a hero, right? But you think actually he just seems to just trip
He's like
and
the
stumble.
ball in a
Yeah,
game
he
of
just-
like football.
Yeah, he's just like stumbling his way through these hoops that Dumbledore set up for him, right? And he doesn't seem to actually have like, I don't know, he doesn't, and it's
Any-
never really
yeah.
explained, but this really explains it so well that Dumbledore has already lived his life
Yeah.
as Ron, knows exactly what's going to happen, right? The things like when Dumbledore knows what Harry sees in the mirror, he knows he sees his parents, and he knows that because he told Ron,
Yeah.
right? Dumbledore isn't like a seer or anything, because that's never explicitly said, and it's never been alluded
just been
to
there.
that he has any like amazing powers, But somehow he always knows these things specifically about people around Ron, right? When Ron isn't there, Dumbledore's sort of ability to somehow see into the future is gone, right? He can't predict what's going on, and that's when most of the like accidents and and the like travesties in the book happens, like
Also, just a small thing. I don't know whether this was actually in the book, because I've read most of the books, not all of them. In the 6th one, I think Dumbledore says to Harry, like, how's your personal life and stuff, and I notice you and Hermione spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And is that like him thinking, okay, during this time were they actually getting together, and I didn't know about this?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like, it's actually it's a mind-blowing theory, and and there's heaps of things that link up. Ron and Dumbledore both have a fascination with sweets, right? Dumbledore names the key, the passwords to his tower, the name of sweets,
sherbet.
right? And he says one which is
Sherbet lemon.
say like sherbet lemon. The first password is that sherbet lemon. Ron in the first book, right, asks someone if they can go down to the sweet store and asks if they can get him some sherbet lemons, right? And Dumbledore is always unwrapping the sweets, and throughout the books, Ron is buying the sweets that Dumbledore has as his passcode,
Okay.
right?
So why would he keep sweets for 50 years in his pocket?
No, he's
No,
just
it's
saying
just-
that they're he's remembering these times.
It's the memory.
In his
He's
time.
he's
Like,
seeing himself
remember
go
this
through the
time.
time
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
and he's going
Yeah.
like, look, this is what's happening. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not
So
actually
do they explain how they think he got back?
who
Dumbledore, do they explain why he's
Oh.
gone back in time?
how he got back in time.
Yeah.
Well, they introduced time traveling with the time turners, but they
Yeah,
say that
slightly
this is
different.
not developed. When all the time turners got destroyed is when this theory got crushed, essentially.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
they're not sure why, because there is so many foreshadowing. There's so much evidence, and it's insane, really. When I was reading it, I was, my jaw was to the floor.
That's pretty intense. But I'm gonna have to say, if that really was one of J.K. Rowling's ideas, I can see why she dropped it.
Yes.
It would have been a bit. It's like, okay, Dumbledore is actually Ron back from the future. If she'd built up to it throughout the books, past the 4th one, beyond the 4th one, then she may have
But
been
can
able
you-
to build
I think
up
that's the
nicely.
glorious part
Yes.
about Phantom is that they haven't been concluded.
Yes.
And that's why we can
Yeah.
keep speculating.
But
That's what's
can
lovely.
you imagine if you got to the end of the Harry Potter books, and so at the end of the Harry Potter books, it has some really, really bad scene of Harry with his kids, and they've got
Dumbledore and
fucking
Ron
terrible
winking at each
names.
other.
That should
Albus.
be yeah, exactly. How Albus Severus, Sirius, like fuck nut Potter. That's what it sounds like.
His name.
But that's pretty much his name. But yeah, so they all I hate that. That's probably one of the worst things. But so what should have happened? Imagine if it had, say, Ron at 40, just turning his life back,
Oh yeah.
going back in time.
But if they just suddenly sprung that on you, like,
But then you read through the books again,
Ah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah,
would
that would've been-
understand
yeah, that would-
every
that'd be so
single
good.
thing that's happened.
Yeah, like rereading the series would just be like,
Yeah, you would like.
That's
Yeah,
actually
I'm still
Ron.
not sure. I'm still not convinced. There seem to be more occasions. Why would Dumbledore, like, along with Snape, talk to them about like crashing into the Weeping Willow? If Ron was there driving, like, why would they screw up so bad? Ron was right there with them, and they still crash into the Weeping Willow with the flying car in the second movie.
what? Oh, well, when he's saying like when Dumbledore comes, no, but Dumbledore completely lets them off.
yeah, it's true. Also,
Dumbledore
what is Ron's dream?
like, was it so?
Gives them some
Snape was
sandwiches.
like, we're going
Yeah.
to have you expelled and everything.
yeah, and Dumbledore's
And then
just
Dumbledore's
like,
like, nah, mate, it's all good.
yeah, exactly. But
Okay.
what is Ron's dream in the mirror? his dream is to become Quidditch captain. He sees himself holding the Quidditch cup
And
and
they
the
always
house
talk
cup.
about how Dumbledore was really ambitious.
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
was
yeah.
young.
But Ron gets appointed head
but that's
boy.
later.
Right? Yeah, that's later. It's true. But there seems to be some strange overlap. Like she's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's
At some point, she kind of dropped it, and she was
it's
like,
it's a really strange thing. But Dumbledore makes Ron head boy, right?
yeah.
He also is on the Quidditch team, and so like these
So
two
Dumbledore's
are
to,
leading.
yeah.
Like seem like they're leading
That's
towards
a bit vain.
leading towards his goal.
Wow.
You know, like
Yeah.
to become a leader, and like he gets appointed head boy, and he's like, why the hell would I do that? You know, Dumbledore made him. You know, if you imagine if you were in the future and you could give yourself what you wanted as a kid, you know, this is what Dumbledore's doing.
The reason I've barely said anything during this whole time is my mouth has been open in amazement.
This is mind
And
blowing.
also,
theory.
you talked a whole ton in the Inception
Yeah.
episode. You're taking a
Fan
break.
theories are glorious.
Yeah,
they
We
are.
can
They're
talk about
amazing.
more in the future. I
Yeah.
knew a few Harry Potter ones, but
Yeah.
nowhere near stacking up to the amount
Yeah,
of that.
and I don't think I've really done it
That's
justice.
actually pretty intense.
Yeah,
But-
I could have talked for half an hour about the Inception. Trust
Yeah.
me, I've talked about it.
All right.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. Thanks, Freddie.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Yeah, I hope your mind is as blown as mine.
My mind is on
And
the
as
floor.
before, if you haven't read the Harry Potter books, definitely
Yeah.
give it a try.
Yep.
And now we've just completely changed the way you'll look at them.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So-
we pretty much ruined it for you, but
Yeah.
have fun
with,
anyway.
Yeah, have fun with that. Okay,
Thanks for listening to the FOVcast. We'll see you next time.
next time.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
in a coma.